and it's almost as if the car is just egging you on to keep the car on boost where it's making all of its power. Hello and welcome back to Lorbeck Luxury Cars. I'm your host Harry, and beside me today we have this awesome 2001 996 Turbo. Now the 996 Turbo has finally started to appreciate in value again, as it was often overlooked in favour for some of Porsche's more limited and halo models, such as the GT cars. Before Porsche started adding turbocharging to their entire lineup, including on the base 718 Boxster, if you saw a turbo badge on the back of a Porsche in 2001, you automatically knew it was a big deal. These cars were the peak of performance for their time, and with 414 horsepower and a 0 to 100 sprint in just 4.2 seconds, you can still keep up with most modern sports cars of today. Back in the early 2000s as well, you would have to have a very keen eye to spot the differences between the turbo and a standard 911, because back then Porsche weren't chucking huge spoilers on their cars, and to know that it was something special, you'd really have to know and love the brand. So some of the differences that they changed were the wider air intakes on the front to feed those radiators, a much wider track and stance to accommodate for those larger wheels, and of course, the famous turbo duct, which has been a commonplace on all Porsche turbos moving forward. So guys, I'm super excited to jump in and see what a Porsche from this era actually feels like. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so welcome to the cockpit of the 996 Turbo. It's a beautiful day in Melbourne, so we're going to head down to the beach, down to Williamstown, soak up the sun and see what this car is all about. I can tell you the car just feels like it is tugging at you like it's on a leash, wanting to be set free. And it's almost as if the car is just egging you on to keep the car on boost where it's making all of its power. On the inside, it's actually very quiet. You just get this whoosh from the turbos and it pins you back nicely in your seat as you ride the wave of torque that those turbos provide. The level of comfort that you get from the seats and the controls truly make the 996 Turbo great for any driving situation. Where the 996 really does start to feel its age is the interior. The media system also looks really dated. I mean, jumping from this car into a 991 is like trading your Nokia brick in for an iPhone 14. Even with this very early generation of automatic gearbox, it's still way smoother than some of the F1 style single clutch gearboxes that Ferrari and Lamborghini were offering at the time. And because of that, it just makes the 996 a much less intimidating supercar for someone to jump in and drive. Now, the trade-off with making the gearbox a lot smoother and more livable means that it's not going to shift as fast as any of those single clutch gearboxes from Ferrari and Lambo. But they didn't want to go and put a single clutch in it, destroying the livability of the car, because they were working on their PDK gearbox, which we would later see come out in the 997 generation. And if you know Porsches, that gearbox is fantastic. God, that's addictive. Guys, if you enjoyed that one as much as I did, please make sure to tune in for next week's episode. And as always, I'll see you next week.